Right guys, so back again for part 2 of the convert your e-bike into a motorcycle series. Bit of a mouthful, I haven't really thought about what I'm going to actually call it. So yeah, quite a bit's changed. To go hold of this is the Moto seat from Enduro e-bike, and it basically just, it's designed for this kit, so it just slots straight in. You take off the saddle assembly and then you just basically slot that straight in, 4 bolts, and it's done. So that was pretty easy to do. And I've added some switches up here as well. The switches, I think I showed these in the last video, but I've got like a headlight indicator and horn switch, and you've got a little LED on the top there as well. That might be quite useful for showing whether the headlights are actually on or not, because I think you have to have a thing called a telltale, which shows whether the lights are actually on to the driver, even though you can basically see whether the lights are on. So I don't know if that really applies, but anyway, and I've got another switch here, which, it's a long story, but because this has got 3 positions, it would have been a bit of a pain to wire up the tail light, because it doesn't actually hold connection when you flick between low and high. So I've added basically another switch here. So this is the main light switch, and then this one's just going to be used just for low or high beam, and then obviously your indicators and stuff like that. And then round to the front, this is the bit that took the longest amount of time, was getting this mounted. So I think you can see this because of the light. But basically I had to use these small adapters, which I got from eBay, because the big motorcycle ones that come with this light don't go around this front suspension fork. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but it didn't matter because I just ordered them, and then I still had to bend them because they ended up being too small in the end. But now they're super tight, and that is not gonna budge a bit. And I've got my indicators mounted as well. And what I did with this, I used like a spacer. It's basically like a threaded tube, and really because I needed to get the distance between the indicators to be at least 24 centimeters or 240 millimeters, because that's part of the requirement. So now I think it's basically 240 mil from here to here. So yeah, we should be fine with that. And also wiring and stuff, there's quite a lot of wires around here. The biggest thing I'm facing so far is getting the wires through this section of the frame here. I'm not completely finished yet. I'm still going to end up with 1 wire for a horn, and then probably 2 e-brake wires. I need to get some e-brakes. These brakes are basically just obviously very, very good, very high quality, but they haven't got sensors in. And I'm not sure if they're actually legal because of this ball end. I don't know, but they haven't got sensors in. So the requirements for brakes are they've got to have sensors, and they've also got to have a kind of readout for showing you your fluid level. So the Hope brakes are going to have to go. I'm pretty gutted about that, but yeah, I don't know. There's not really any way of solving that, and I'm going to go for Tektro brakes. They're basically like the only company that makes kind of e-bike specific brakes that are actually any good, hydraulic. They've got fluid level indicators, and they've actually got sensors on as well. They do some really nice ones with progressive sensors, so you can use them for like regen braking, but they haven't got the fluid level indicator. So it's with all this stuff, it's just like you find one thing, think yeah, it's going to be that'll be the thing I'm going to use, and then it turns out it doesn't have quite the right thing. I suppose you could probably, after the test, you could probably change things very slightly and just, go, but I wouldn't be able to go back to the Hopes because they haven't got any sensors, but potentially I could add sensors, I suppose, but I don't know. Anyway, these Tektro Dorado brakes are a good kind of plug and play solution for what I'm trying to do. Yeah, so today I'm just going to be going through, oh yeah, by the way, we're in the middle of the house move, if I didn't say before, and this is just like, I've moved this bike into here to make it a little bit easier to work on, and I'm just doing little bits and pieces whilst we're kind of packing stuff away. That's what I'm going to do today, is just do some wiring. I've got all these blooming cables here coming out from this switch and that switch and the lights and all sorts of stuff. So it's going to be a bit of a mission. I'm not too bad with wiring. I quite like doing wiring. It's quite kind of, I don't know why, but I like making it neat, and I like kind of, getting everything right. So I haven't got a problem with that. It's just wiring whilst you're trying to figure out the circuit, because yeah, I've got it in my head how it's going to work, but getting it down into something into doing the connections, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be one of those head bending things. What else? So I've got this. This is like the start of the kind of harness for. This is a DC to DC adapter. I'm going to just run this straight from the battery, and then I've kind of made this little chock block thing where it's going to be like the distribution for the power. So, you know, I can run switches to and from this and then use it to, you know, basically get power to and from all the lights and everything else. So yeah, that's that. I've got a couple of fuses, the fuse on the main wire going in and then a fuse going out. And then, yeah, all these wires just need to be put into the right places. My tail light is here. I was messing around with this the other day. I was trying to use it, trying to just like test all the lights with a 9-volt battery to see if they just at least lit up. So I kind of tested them before, and this wasn't doing anything. So I think I'm going to have to plug this into a power supply and see if it works properly then. But this is going to be cool. I'm going to mount this. I'm going to mount this here, just below that. Should be alright. Should be visible. What I've done is I've actually contacted a guy on eBay, and I've given him this kind of mock design, but he's going to make me like a black gloss perspex mount, so it'll match the rest of the frame. It'll look quite nice, and then I can just basically screw the indicators section, rear lighting section, number plate holder, and all that to the back of the bike. So guys, that's about where we're at the moment. Yeah, I'm just going to crack on, get some wiring done, and yeah, take my time, and hopefully I'll have a headlight to show you soon. Maybe indicators as well. Quick progress update, guys. I've got all of my front lights wired into this terminal block here. So got a ground, got the dipped beam, main beam, left and right indicators there, and I can probably cut the rest of those off. Not sure whether I need those yet. And I've got the main distribution power going into this one here. I've basically broken the ground line from the battery and gone straight to that. And up here I've got my 12 volt DC to DC regulator, so steps it down from 80 volts down to 12 volts, and that's going to go in there somewhere. Next thing I've got to do is wire up this first switch up here, so when you flick that on it makes a live circuit which will power, it will make the lights live, and it will also bring sort of a live into here so that we can use this later on for the tail light. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because you're kind of thinking about, you know, things in advance. Oh, what if I need to do that later? Like I need to add, you know, make sure I've got space in these connection blocks to actually add the other bits in. I'm trying to think of this all kind of live and do it as I go. I've never really drawn out like circuit diagrams and done anything like that before because I don't know, just overthink it, and kind of I can visualize what I want. I just need to get it into the right place. Right, I'm gonna crack on. Right guys, we have front lights. Cool as that. To test out the beam pattern and stuff like that. But yeah, so I've got it wired up this way. So you've got basically just realised that little LED is very slightly, if that would be alright for a telltale, maybe. Okay, so here we go. We've got this light switch here. That basically turns off the whole setup. So this one's going to be obviously connected to the tail light as well, and then we've got your dipped light, which is what it's on at the moment, and then main beam as well. And you see this light lights up as well, just showing you that you've got your main beam. And then you can also turn it off from that. I don't really think that's a good idea, but I may get another one of these switches that's actually just got low and high without this one here. I suppose you could put side lights on it or something like that. Pretty cool. I'm quite happy with that. This is what it looks like at the moment. I need to put this inside again as well. This is getting a little bit Feel a little bit of warmth on there. Kind of expect it. It's pulling a couple of amps out of it. This is rated to 10 amps, so should be alright. Yeah, so indicators now. Right, you ready for this, guys? Could do that all day. Well happy with this. So this is the state of the wiring at the minute. It's all ready to go, it just needs to go in. That's the flasher for the indicators. It's all ready to go, it just needs to get, I just need to put it in there. Right, I'm going to test what the current draw is through the DC to DC regulator and see what the actual current is like when there's no load on it, because I'm actually going to leave it connected to the battery continuously. I know it might draw a little bit of current, but it just saved a load of aggro without having relays and all that palaver. So yeah, I'm going to try and see what the current is. Right, that's zeroed the meter, and then see what we get in if we put it across the DC to DC. Not showing anything. It's sort of flicking between 0 and 1, but I don't think it's 100 milliamps because I don't think the resolution is very high on this. Let's turn the lights on. Right, so we're up to 1.1, so it's definitely working. 1.1 with the normal light on, that's the dipped headlight, and then turn it on to main beam. We're up at 1.7, so that's not too bad. That's not really that much draw at all. This wiring's more than capable of that, so that's sort of fine. Let's turn an indicator on maybe as well. Yeah, it's virtually nothing. It's a good thing about LEDs. So yeah, if we turn everything off, I think I'm happy with that. I don't think it's going to be drawing that much. I'll keep an eye on the voltage of the battery, and obviously, yeah, if you're going to leave the bike for months and months, it's probably not a good idea just to kind of leave it all turned on. You can turn it off by this breaker anyway if you need to. Just flip the side off. But I think that's good. Just taking the dogs out for a little walk. Oh, such a nice day today. I can't even believe how warm it is. I think like the next week is supposed to be like solid, kind of like above 20 degrees. So yeah, summer's definitely here, guys. It's just nice to get out as well. I've just been, the whole morning, I've just been in there, just basically just like, you know, doing all that wiring and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm really happy of how that's kind of come out. Just I wasn't expecting to sort of be able to kind of bash it out so quick. I don't know, I think I just built it up in my head as just being a complete nightmare. And having never done kind of, you know, like motorcycle wiring before, like the lights and the indicators and all that sort of stuff, I kind of, you know, got electrical experience obviously, but you know, I'd never really kind of done that. So it was just nice to sort of crack it out and not blow anything up yet. So the whole of the front of the bike is basically done. Headlight and the indicators. All I've got to do now, I'm just waiting on this little panel, this little bracket, I think I mentioned it earlier. Just waiting on that little bracket so that I can mount the rear light assembly. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it should be quite straightforward. I've got brakes as well, saying about the brakes, wasn't I? So I haven't actually ordered those yet, so I'm gonna have to get those ordered up pretty quick. It's a pain because they come from Taiwan or China, which is not normally a pain because I get everything sent over from there for the business. But I don't know, they seem like they just don't want to deal with end users, and there's no one in the UK. The guys in the UK, Dillinger e-bikes or whatever, just not replied to any emails. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. So I need to get hold of those. I've got the Chinese contacts, I just need to get hold of them. So if anyone knows where to get those in Europe that's got them in stock, front and rear, don't say Vector because they haven't got the rear brake in stock at the moment. They've only got the front one. I might end up just getting it from there in the end anyway, but I just wanted them super quick. Yeah, so that's it really. That I'm waiting for the stand as well. I've got the stand on order. That's coming from like Portugal, I think. So yeah, that should be alright once that turns up. And then what else? Got my mirrors, got the mirrors and got the brackets for those. horn. That's the only other thing I need. Just the horn, so it's no big deal. Wiring's all there now anyway, so all I've got to do is just, you know, connect these things up. So guys, yeah, I was thinking, you know, this was going to be like a sort of 10-parter or something like that, but it's turned out to be probably much quicker. There's still quite a lot to obviously do and things like that, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll try and cover the test as well when I get the MSVA test thing through. I'm just looking at my dog; she's just rolling in something really nasty. So yeah, so when I get there, I'm going to try and video that. I don't know if they'll let me, but it would be pretty cool to film in there, so you can see exactly what kind of happens. Come to think of it, I doubt they'll let you do that, but I might be able to get away with clips, maybe some clips. Just strap a GoPro to my head or something like that. Anyway guys, that's the end of this part. I think the next video will probably be a vlog. I did start filming one the other day, but I didn't completely finish it, so it's a bit annoying really. But anyway, I will catch you in the next video. So quick little addition to the video. As with all crap that comes from eBay, I've been having an issue with the tail light. It doesn't seem to be working. I was just testing it on a 9-volt battery and it's not working, but I'm getting it to work intermittently. I just ripped it apart and started resoldering it because, I don't know, it's just time wasting things, but it doesn't seem to be working, so I think it might be these wires. So I'm just going to unsolder these wires and put some new ones on and hopefully it'll be alright. It's just really weird. It just, sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. I can't see any dry joints on there or anything.